Hey, what's happening, party people? I hope that you're having a great week. We are in the holiday week of Thanksgiving, and for a lot of people, it's an opportunity to spend some QT time with their loved ones, break some bread, have some fellowship, watch some football. Hello, O State, the Ohio State. That's just a plug. But I wanted to talk to you um, about pushing through, how to push through when you don't want to. I was literally sitting in my where was I? I was in my kitchen, and I got a phone call from a very good friend and someone that I had been working with for a while, and he said, "Listen, I really need you to do me a solid." I said, "What's going on?" He said, "Can you hop on a plane and fly to Singapore in the next 48 hours and do an all-day event? We really could use your help." I said, "Absolutely, no problem." I didn't hesitate because, when you're playing team, when you're working with great people, I just want to do my part. I want to make sure I'm carrying my weight. I want to contribute in any way that I can. So I remember just packing up. Didn't need a lot of stuff. It was a quick turnaround. It was a 23 and a half hour flight, but I got myself together, was on the plane literally the next day. I get to Singapore, and this is a Friday, okay? And they were great hosting me, took me out to a great dinner. We had fantastic conversation. I was meeting with some of the leaders there in the business that we were doing at the time, and it was just a great experience. Culturally, they turned me on to this fruit. I can't remember, I think it's called dory fruit or something, but it really smells disgusting. It smells nasty. So they have a challenge, like how much of this nasty stank fruit that you could eat. So we had a great time. And I'm not even dealing with jet lag because I don't have time. I don't have time to process that I was on a flight for 23 and a half hours. And now I have to do a full day event in just a few hours because the next morning is fast approaching. So I get up that Saturday morning, and I get up, it's about 5:30 in the morning their time. And a couple of things that I remember vividly. Number one, Singapore, if you've never been, it's one of the cleanest places you'll ever go. The entire province is run like a well-oiled machine. And there are laws about you can't even chew gum. If you get caught chewing gum in Singapore, you're going to jail. Like, they are serious. So everything is incredibly pristine. My son is laughing right now. He can't believe that. Everything is pristine, and everything is very well organized. And people are very cooperative, for lack of a better word. And I was really struck by this. So I decided that I normally, when I have to do an all day event, I try to have a really decent breakfast. I'll get like some fruit and a lot of water, and I'll just load up on just some foundational things so that I don't have to think about food at all until the day is done. I just want to focus on delivering as much value as I possibly can and spending as much time with the people as I possibly can. And just to give you an idea of how insane this entire happening was, when I arrived that Saturday morning to the event facility, it was like a convention center. It was a really big, ginormous space, and it took us. We had security to get to the venue, and it was just a lot going on. But one thing that struck me was there was a line of people waiting to take pictures with me because I'm from out of the country. I'm from the United States. At that time, I was a very prominent trainer for that particular company that we were doing business with. So there literally was a line of people that I could not see the end of it. So that was the first thing that I vividly remember. But what I had for breakfast was some fruit and a bunch of water. And I remember they told me, make sure you drink bottled water. Now, when I'm sitting there and I'm doing all these photographs before the event starts, I'm not like feeling 100%. And I thought, well, yeah, you just got off a 23 and a half hour flight. You had a late night. You got up early. Your body's still adjusting, figuring out what time zone you're in, let alone what country you're in. And as we went through the entire line of people doing all these photographs before the event starts, it's literally about 15 minutes before we kick off. Now, remember, my assignment was to do an all-day event, was to make sure that I'm providing extreme value and giving people the tools and the inspiration and the process to have success in their respective businesses. I got all this content up here and I'm ready to go. Literally, my entire physical state changed because I was no longer a black man. I was turning white. That's how messed up I was. I felt a cold fop sweat coming up to the top of my head, and my hands started to get clammy, and I did not know what was going on. And my very good friend, an exceptional businessman, entrepreneur, James Lee, he was looking at me. He knew something wasn't right. And so I said, brother, can you get me to a bathroom quickly? And so he walks me to the bathroom, and I get to the bathroom, and I am just hurling in the sink. It's all just like, it's insane. I can't. I felt like I was possessed, a demon possessed, like my body was leaving my body. It was terrible. And I'm doing this for a good 2.5 to 3 minutes. And God bless him, Brother James Lee is literally just patting me on the back. He's like, it's going to be okay. Just get it out, man. Get it out. He's just being this very supportive, attentive brother to me in that moment. And so I get it out. And I'm trying to think, what did I put in my body that had to violently leave the way that it did? And I realized, and I didn't realize this, James said, what did you have to eat this morning? I said, well, I had fruit. He said, Ed, they inject the fruit with water from the sewage system to make the fruit heavier so they could sell it for more. So you actually have the water that you're not supposed to consume in your system. And I was like, oh, I got it. So I inadvertently, mistakenly eating fruit, didn't realize that they inject the fruit to make it heavier to sell it for a better price, blah, blah, blah. So mystery solved. Figured out why I had gotten food poisoning. My dilemma was very simple. I have an 8-hour day ahead of me and I feel like crap. Sometimes you got to push through when you don't want to. And it's one of the hardest things for any of us to reconcile with. It's one of the hardest things that we have to do is to push through when we don't want to. Maybe you don't feel well. Maybe you have a fever. Maybe your stomach is killing you. Maybe you got food poisoning. Maybe you're under the weather with the flu or pneumonia. Maybe you have the hot sweats. Maybe you have COVID. Maybe you're going through something that is physically disabling you and you can't get it up to go up and do what you got to do, but you got to do it anyway. You got to push through when you don't want to. Here's the thing. If you recognize something that is higher and larger than yourself, bigger than yourself, you can draw energy from that. You can draw inspiration from that. You can draw energy and fuel and purpose from that because you're not making it about you. It's bigger than you. I understood that I was there to serve literally thousands of people that had spent hours in line and they spent their hard-earned money and time out of their lives to come and get this information. The least I could do was give them all that I had, even if I wasn't at 100%. And when you're going after something, if you have a specific goal, some of you want to pay your house off early. You want to pay your cars off early. You want to get out of debt. You want to get that promotion on your job. Well, you tie that outcome, you tie that activity to something that is greater than you, because now you're serving something greater than you. And when you tap into the energy or you tap into the vision of who's going to benefit from your success, who's going to benefit from you pushing through, who's going to gain from you having that mental and intestinal fortitude, having the guts and the grind to keep going, even though you know you're not at your best, that's when you begin to separate yourself. That's when you say, you know what, I'm not 100%, but I can give you this much today. I may not be able to give you 10 hours of focused activity, but I can give you 5, and I'm going to give it everything that I got. And then I'm going to go pass out and recover and come back the next day. Maybe it's a certain weight loss or a health and fitness goal that you have. A lot of times, and I get this from a lot of my clients, they don't have the time to go to the gym. They don't feel like going to the gym. They're not accustomed to going to the gym or working out. Well, you got to figure out a bigger reason to go. I would like for you to be here longer. I want you to be able to spend more quality time with your wife, more quality time with your husband. I want you to be healthy so you can have a long life of creating memories. And we can't get you there if you're not doing the work And I don't push them. I'm like, just tell me your physical activity for the day. I'm going to monitor that and then hold them accountable. But I'm always figuring out ways to make it bigger. So for me, sharing this message with you right now, it's me pushing through when I don't want to. It's me pushing through when I'm not at 100%, when I know I'm not at my best, when I know that my level that I'm normally at, which is on 100, it's not there, but I'm here because I'm focusing on how can I serve and add value to you. And when you tap into that, ladies and gentlemen, when you tap into the vision that you have for your more compelling future, the vision that you have for creating greater success, the vision that you have for becoming a person of impact and influence and transformation in this world, when you make it about the team, teamwork makes the dream work. Me go as we go, and we go as me go is me, we. So I do what I do because I want to add value to the team no matter how I'm feeling. I want to show up every day and do my part and make a contribution because I know that if I'm winning, the team is winning. If the team is winning, I'm winning. Teamwork makes the dream work. Tap into that greater something that is bigger than you, ladies and gentlemen, when you know you got to push through when you don't want to.